Do not adjust your YouTube browser. What you see and what you don't see is real. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Well, while we're out here in the time cave, we're going to discuss some different topics. Besides these are going to be aiding the atmosphere, that's for sure. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about the supernatural a bit. And, well, some people say that that's poppycock, that's not real, it's people's imagination. Well, is it? For centuries, since time began, people have seen things and experienced things that they can't explain, that science or even God can't explain. Now, I usually don't deviate from the lantern content, but since it's Halloween, might as well indulge some of my viewers in something a little chilling. Can I swipe this? There it is. The story begins back in 2008. A friend of mine requested a copy of a recording that I have. Recording of an entire day's broadcast of September 21st, 1939 from New York City, from a CBS affiliate in that area. Now the recording was made because there was supposed to be a historic speech from FDR that day. So the station felt that it was necessary to record the entire day's broadcast. Not a lot of entire day broadcasts survive from that era. Most radio programs were recorded. You can still get programs, but not entire days broadcast. That's just the way it was. Finding an entire day's broadcast with no interruptions is very hard to come by. So my friend wanted to hear it, and he wanted a copy, so I went down one evening with a copy that I burned for him. And we started listening to it. Now, granted, the broadcast is many hours. Starts at 6 a.m. and finishes, I believe, at 12 or 1 a.m. So, we're enjoying this broadcast, and it gets late, so we listen to it for a couple of hours, and he gets tired, he goes to bed. Since it's a long drive out to Ukaipa, I stay the night. I usually sacked out on the couch. Well, I'm asleep probably for no more than maybe what seems like 5 minutes. And something happens. I'm awoken by a loud sound coming from the CD player at his entertainment center. It was the broadcast. And it was playing from the beginning, and the volume was very high. Now, from the living room to his bedroom, the wing where his room is, that branches off of the living room, it goes to a degree of angle, right? So I saw his light come on. He comes into the living room and starts chewing me out for playing that broadcast. Well, I tell him I didn't turn it on. I blamed him because he's a notorious practical joker. We have an exchange. A lot of vulgar words were exchanged that I can't repeat on YouTube. Or shouldn't repeat anyways. It's not important to the story. But the bottom line was, he looked me dead in the eye and says, I did not start that. I says, okay. I says, what time is it? He says, oh, it's like 6:05 a.m. Well, alright. And no sooner that he said the time, the broadcast paused to give the time. And it was 6:05 a.m. Like I said, the broadcast started at 6 o'clock a.m. and in those days they took many pauses to give the time, especially in the morning, since kids were going to school, getting ready to go to work or whatnot. So, time was very important to people in that era, and it was not taken lightly, so they gave the time often. And the radio was a reliable source of authentic, accurate timekeeping. Especially a local station. So I got chills down my back. I says, do you mean to tell me this machine turned itself on at 6 a.m. out of nowhere? He looked at me and says, well, it appears to be enjoy, and he laughs and chuckles and goes back to his bedroom. Well, I didn't turn the broadcast off because I figured whatever started it wanted to hear it. And I was not about to, say, screw you, buddy, I'm going to sleep. Well, I turned it down, and most times, having the TV on or something playing in the background at a low decibel it helps me sleep. Well, I got back to sleep. I woke up later, and sure enough, the broadcast was still playing. I let it play the rest of the time I was there, and I had my watch and look at my watch, and when it would pause for time, I saw that it was accurate. And a lot of people will say, oh, that's just a fluke. Electronics can turn on by themselves, blah, blah, blah. Well, would they turn on exactly at 6 o'clock when there's other CDs in the carousel? Who would pick that one? Not very likely. But, that was one time, one occasion that I experienced something that was out of the ordinary. You could say it's paranormal. He actually told me his grandfather passed away in that house in the 1990s. And his grandfather had a hand in broadcasting in those days, so he must have wanted to hear something. That's my story. I'm going to stick to it. And this does not want to stay lit. Anyways, that's what I have. So for our next couple nights before Halloween, I will be trying to make content and tell some other stories of actual experiences that I've had. And some may be others' experiences. But anyways, have a good night, and we'll see you next time.